welcome to the Up to It podcast. I am Capitan, in Fuego for the Bumbo, also known as the Backpack Rock, also known as CJ King. With me, of course, I'm rolling with my dogs 1,000 deep. That is certified to God. To my left and below us, but never underneath us. Maybe underneath my skin some motherfucking times, but we know that's how it goes. Sticky Face, my dog, my man, 100 grand. And we got to come up with a name for Sasha. She's just gonna be Sasha for the night. So the topic of the day is nostalgia, particularly kicking it back like like the legend of our day, Juvenile would say, for the 99 to the 2000s. Um, is it a crutch? I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna let my esteemed colleagues, as they say in our other organization, uh, take this one over. I'm gonna deliver my thoughts later. But how do we feel about this, brothers? Nostalgia. How do we feel about them? It's crazy because I'm at Dre's party. Dre's party is a '90s themed party. So we've been watching Boomerang and We was watching House Party 3. I was up about to cry when I saw Immature and TLC in that bit. But how do we feel about it, dog? I already know. Y'all already know I love the '90s. Y'all already know I can always do a kickback how it used to be. Sit around, drink. How your aunties out there on the grill, or how your aunties out there cooking in the kitchen, your uncles out there on the grill with them Jesus Slipper 33s, uh, with a cold beer in their hand. you playing underneath the water fountain. Mariah Carey might always be my baby in the backyard.
I know y'all see this motherfucking big ass fucking mug of beer I got. Hey,
We
when
got a whole
fun,
bike.
hey, fun fucking fact. So I went into a thrift store and I seen this fucking mug and it was glowing like the Horcrux off of fucking Harry Potter. That's why I had picked that bitch up. So we can get back into the subject. Thank you.
Yeah, you're German now. Because
Yeah, I
that's
told him
actually
that's.
a German beer glass. Just letting you know.
I told him that
Shiesty.
he got some.
You heard it there.
Told you that's some Oktoberfest shit. But y'all
Yep.
talk to me. How do we feel about it? Do we would we rather listen to these mumble rappers and these kids keep talking about murder music over Vanessa Carlton, or would we like to go back to when niggas used to beg in music? I'm really just curious.
First and
I need to
foremost, the
know.
motherfuckers is trash. Gutter trash. Hard garbage trash. Trash, trash that been sitting in the sun for too fucking long. Trash.
This boy trying to render war with the streamers, but I would like to hear y'all opinions. Sticky, Sasha, talk to me.
Nostalgia. You know the one thing that I actually had this conversation with our son. I was like, yo, back in the days we had this. Remember the videotapes that we had? The,
VHS, yeah,
yeah, I had that. And people are like, wait, what? It's the
like it
same
was
thing.
before.
You know what's so funny why I'm saying that is because now I just went to Target yesterday and they have LPs in this size. And I'm like, that's CDs. It's not
Yeah,
LP.
talking
CDs.
about a miniature LP, bitch. That's a CD. That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy. And even when we was coming out, they had DVDs and CDs and stuff, but that wasn't like that. Hey, wasn't nothing like before you could burn a CD and you wanted to hear a song, or you had to play it for your bae, and you had to
What?
remember you had to hold that shit up when it was playing, and you had to hold that shit up to the tape recorder and tape that shit. You
What
laughing,
is
John?
that website
Lenny
called?
said maybe you ain't been in love like I've been in love, ho.
LimeWire. That's what it was.
LimeWire,
It was
Aries.
LimeWire.
Oh,
And that's the 2000s, dog. We talking about when you had to make a mixtape for your boo and you had to wait till that shit came on. You had to put that shit to the radio. You had to have a good ass boombox though. Remember that a quality multi-purpose ass getting utility. Boy, you used to have to have that. You used to have that to play for your girl. You used to have to come over and have to play the CDs. You used to have to record it when you in trouble. You gotta, make up the breakup. The niggas don't yearn no more. That's in the '90s where people used to yearn. Don't
I
leave
don't
me,
even know
girl.
what CDs are.
You know, even the
Do you?
music
yo,
was different.
We took our
Even the
kids
music was
to
different.
where was it? We took it to
That
the
was
Miami
that Stranger Things.
Stranger Things thing.
Thing
Right.
in Aventura. Yeah.
Right. So we went to Aventura Mall. We went to the Stranger Things thing, and they were looking around it, and I was like, "Do you see what this is?" It was a phone on the wall. You have to pick
Hmm.
up, and you had to dial everything. And I'm like, "What is this?" And I was like, You know
Yeah, you
what?
kids, you don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck landline is.
Hey, they
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
Let me go even deeper. They don't know that the caller ID used to be detached from the phone. I used to have to plug into the phone and plug it to the wall. Your mama used to go tell you to call, check the caller ID. Nigga, you'll get in trouble. She could check the caller ID and tell if the school called if you was home when nobody was home. Boy, man, listen. I remember
They
that
don't even
thing.
know what a pager is. I was like, what is a pager? I was
Listen,
like, wait,
call.
Or
what?
or better yet, like
Funny, 'cause
yo,
I
I
just watched a
remember.
video about Tip get his signing with the record label that he was with at the time,
Yeah,
and they had to hit him up on a pager. He was like,
pager.
"Man, I don't even know what the fuck going on. Like, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh,
who
who
paging
called
me?
me?" Yeah,
Remember, you
that's
could page somebody 911 emergency.
Right.
Or yo, listen, or my at my mother's house, right? In my aunt's room, she got the old school TV, not no flat screen. So my daughter
That
walked in
one
the
that
room.
used to,
My daughter walked in the room and she seen it and she was like, "What's all that stuff behind it?" I said, "You ought to stop. Don't do that.
no, she
Don't
don't
do
know.
that. Don't
She
do
don't
that.
know.
That's the TV. What are you
That was
saying right now?"
listen. That was ancient tech when she was born,
And
boy.
she was like, "What is all that stuff behind it? The
Nah, I
actual
remember.
fucking TV, nigga.
I
Come
remember
on
we
now."
had a TV. We had a TV so raw, dog. But you remember you had the one. Remember you had the two nozzles. Remember you had the two turners, and you had the one for all the big channels on the bottom that had all the ones, and then you had the basic TV one that went to like 10 or some shit like that.
Yep.
That was that antenna shit. That shit used to pop. Used to sound like a gunshot when you turned that fucking bah, bah. The mama
Or
said, "Turn it
bet
to channel 7."
or bet
Looked
yet
like seven niggas lost their
we
lives.
we had them old TVs. We had an old TV where that shit, the picture used to go out, and you have to bang on the top of that motherfucker. Hey, y'all don't get on me, man. I was, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying? Hey, listen,
nah, fuck
hey,
I
that.
remember
you know,
exactly what you're
Hey,
saying.
look, fuck that.
we had some ghetto shit going on. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
I'm an age.
At some
I'm an
point we
age
moved
all
up.
of
God damn
us.
it.
I'm an age all of us. Cause who remember going to that motherfucking Nintendo and that shit didn't work? You got to take that shit out and blow on that shit,
Yeah,
spit all in the
blowing in the
goddamn
fucking cartridge.
cartridge,
Yeah,
Between
blowing in
Nintendo,
the
Sega
cartridge.
Genesis,
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
nigga.
Come on.
Press that shit in, and press the button again. That shit come to life.
Right.
What?
And they come out years later talking about that ain't do shit. Well, I guess
Well,
what it
nigga,
must have been some
you
kind of
putting
witchcraft because it
alcohol,
worked.
you putting alcohol on your CDs. You know what I'm saying? Your scratched up CDs.
Thinking that shit about to make it with a clean
What
ass
you know about
cloth.
that now, boy? What you know about that now, boy? Come on,
Oh,
now.
listen,
Listen.
Oh, right. You're supposed to
I
do
was
it.
there.
Hey, wasn't nothing worse. Wasn't nothing worse than the scratch CD back in the day, dog. Because the shit was so expensive. Your old girl
What?
not going back to get that shit, dog. That's a once in a
Exactly.
lifetime loss.
The
Boy, you
CD
fuck
look.
this.
He had a fucking CD player everywhere, even in cars and whatsoever. Now, in our cars, one, they don't have a CD player anymore.
Yeah,
Kids don't
It's
even know what
obsolete.
CD player it is.
It's
And
obsolete.
and the other thing is also is alcohol. Nobody is drinking it no more. The alcohol level is
Yeah,
going back
fucking
down.
Gen Zers are drinking like we used to back in the
Don't
day.
worry. Don't
Oh
worry,
no, no,
because
I'm sorry. I'm
that's
sorry.
that
I
stress
almost,
has a
We
hit
still
though.
are now.
That stress has a hit though.
I almost said something, but I don't
it's a
want
lot
us to
of
get
stuff.
canceled early.
Yeah,
God damn it.
it's a lot
So
of stuff like
shout out you fucking Gen Zers. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I give you
You know
some
what
fucking
was
hand
so
claps.
funny? We
But
went to Walmart the other day and there was a CD player, like our old school CD player.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
You know, the one that where you open up the thing and you put the CD in and it's like an old school CD player.
It was a stereo, like the old school radios with the CD player on top.
Hmm.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they still had at
They're
Walmart
selling it
now,
at Walmart for $35. I'm like, wait, what?
bruh. We're like,
Because
are you kidding
they're
me right now?
selling. Speaking of what we're talking about, they're selling nostalgia. To
How are
to
you selling it if
But
not?
the funny part is, it's nostalgia for us because at that time when we were growing up,
hmm
what is shit like that,
Yeah.
bruh? Nowadays, bro, like every week, it's something new. It's like you
Yeah.
can't even have you have a you gotta have a short term memory with everything.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I will argue that, and and you know what?
I understand
I understand the older generations. I understand their frustrations where they said just things move too fast. You know, like you don't even have time to enjoy this innovation, and then you using this innovation. Look how fast AI has come on us, and we used to use it just to get answers. Now they telling you I got a class this semester with the lady like, hey man, I know y'all gonna use AI anyway, and as a matter of fact, they'll help you pass the class. You just can't use it for everything. And I'm like, this bitch is approving AI, like, but it's dumb. It's gonna dumb us down because it's just one of them things where it's instant gratification, and instant gratification, one thing that we learned from being in school and probably and mostly honing our crafts, like, you know, we played sports, some of us lifted weights, some of us did things, had extracurricular activities. We understand, hey, this shit don't come, it comes from delayed gratification. It doesn't come from you doing 10 push-ups and then look in the mirror like something gonna change. You feel me? Like, it comes
right.
from delayed gratification.
Yep.
That's all the movies used to hit. You think motherfucking Coach Boone and them niggas from Remember the Titans got that fucking delay, that instant gratification? No, that nigga, that motherfucker was out there telling them, if you drop a fucking if you drop a pass, you run a
Run
mile.
them
If
out.
you fumble the football, I will break my foot off in your John Brown
Uh-huh.
hind
Yeah,
parts,
okay.
Yeah.
And
and
then
then
you
you
run
will
them
run a
out.
mile.
Then
Perfection.
Exactly.
Delayed gratification. These kids
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
nothing
saying.
about it. They don't
That's
know
what I'm
anything
saying.
about
With
it.
all the kids that are going around whatsoever, and I've seen with our son, he's 15 years old. We are actually introducing him to what?
just pretty much everything. Fucking
Pennywise,
from anime
music,
from
Hmm.
movies.
everything, old school wise.
No, he even listened to old school rock, bro.
No, he
Yeah.
listened to
Yeah,
oh
bro. Yeah, bro.
his
Don't
Guns N'
start.
Roses and all of
no
that
no
shit.
no, no. His first his first rock group that he loves until this day is Kiss.
Kiss, yeah.
Of course.
That's yeah.
Of
And he
course.
has all of the figurines in his room and he knows every single word of it.
Listen, listen. I had to get Carter. I had to get Carter the other day. His mom took him to go see the Michael Jackson movie, and I was like, man. I said, man, because he was like, yeah, he played some. I said, no, you know, he worked on some of that music in some of your favorite video games. Because you know, Carter he wants to build video games and make the music for the video games. So I said, you know, he worked on some of that music. He said, oh, really, on Mario? I said, nah, on Sonic. And then I showed him a picture with when Michael Jackson finally went to Japan. They opened up Sega's headquarters for him, and he was
Oh,
like,
okay,
"Wow!"
yeah.
Mhm.
So, and you know, kids so stubborn. You know, my son, he just like me. He's stubborn. He don't want to hear nothing until it's his time to hear it. I said, "No, but listen to the music he actually made, bro." I started playing that, and I said, "I'm gonna play you a song that sounds like video game music. It gives you that energy. You're gonna love it." I played "Wanna Be Starting Something."
Mhm.
And you don't want to be starting stuff that has that old school video game music. Dum, 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 dum. You know it's
Yep.
hard to sell anything to young Carter. That nigga started bopping his head. He said, "How old is this?" I said, "Dog, this came out in the '80s." I said this album, son, is older than me. You know that was already a try. That nigga was like, "Wow," but I said, "Dog, that's how
Damn.
we listened. We played the entire Thriller album. When he heard Thriller, he was amazed. When he heard Human Nature, he was amazed. And Human Nature is my favorite Michael Jackson song of all time, dog. And a
Okay.
song
Human
people
nature?
just
I love
Human
Human Nature.
Nature,
That's not my favorite one though.
not Human Nature, but you know why? Because it was so different, and you know why too? Because it made it more special to me because I found out the story how it wasn't even supposed to be on the album. It wasn't even considered. It was just a demo, and how literally it just happens. It was just happenstance that he cut the dude who wrote it was from the band Toto, who did
Mhm.
Africa. They were in the
Right.
studio. They were in the studio laying down the vocals for Africa. And the way he came up with the song is his daughter was like 6 years old, and a little boy pushed her down off the slide at school, and she was, you know, children ask you hard questions to you for you to explain to them sometimes. And his daughter was like, why would he do that to me? Like, I never bothered him. Why would you do that to me? And he was like, I don't know, honey. Like, maybe he didn't want to say, I don't know. But he said, maybe he likes you, or, maybe he was mad at you and you didn't know what you did to him. But he said, but people do that when they don't understand their feelings. It's human nature. And he said, when he said that, he couldn't let it go the whole night, and he went to the recording studio that night. They were making Total 4, which is the album that Africa is on, and he literally, it's just him playing the chords on the piano, and he's just saying, when they say why, tell them that it's human nature, why, and he was just saying it over and over again. He recorded on a demo, and Quincy Jones came over and was like, hey, I need 2 demos for this album I'm working on with Michael. His homeboy was like, there's no more, we don't have any more empty cassette tapes, talking about nostalgia. They didn't have any more cassette tapes. So they used where he recorded his demo on, because they was like, man, we're just playing with this. That's just a thing. He said, take this. I was just fucking around. He recorded the 2 demos. Quincy Jones didn't he recorded on the A side, so they recorded on the B side. So they get an assistant, they take it over to
right now. Hit him on the A side and the B side. Like, damn.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
People like they don't know what's going on. We know what's going on.
But see,
and you also gotta talk about perfection. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta going from the analog era to the digital era. You have to you have to like exhibit perfection. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't have that much tape to record on.
So hold on. So the assistant, Quincy Jones' assistant, goes and picks up the tape, and he brings it to Quincy. Quincy, you know how when Glenn know how it is when you in the studio and you just listening through beats and stuff, you trying to catch a vibe, and that's a lot of times what musical sessions are about. You just in there trying to catch a vibe, and then you like, okay, that sounds good, we can run with that. So he's in there, and Quincy listens to the 2 demos, and he's like, he's not feeling those, but they're running them over and over again. In studios back in the day, high-end studios used to have what they called an auto track feature, which means that it loops. Instead of having to pull the tape out and flip the tape over, it loops the entire. Once you get to the end of the tape, it loops the tape back through. It automatically loops it back through, so it'll play it on the B side. So just because they let it play, and that auto playback feature played the Human Nature demo.
Okay.
And when they heard it, Quincy was like, what's that? And he was like, this is what we're rolling with. And he never expected it. They had to call somebody else in to write the lyrics. So Michael Jackson didn't even write those lyrics, and those are some of the hardest lyrics on Thriller. Thriller got some hard lyrics now.
Did you guys actually watch Michael?
The movie, yes.
I've seen it.
DJ?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, no?
I've seen it.
He hasn't. What do you guys think about it?
I think that it needs a part 2. I think that it needs a part 2.
Oh, they already started part 2.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but it needs a part 2 because it shed a lot. It shed a light on like his need for the freedom. But it was like there needs to be more context about like why he was the way he was.
Okay, but
I mean, look at the movie American Dream, how long that shit was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you said, they shed a light on freedom.
Huh?
You said they shed a light on freedom.
On him and his need for like.
So what? Now he's like the modern.
Stop.
He's Luffy, pretty much.
Don't start. Don't start.
Exactly. Don't start.
But if it's anybody who was Joy Boy,
I'm sorry. He's Gold D. He's Gold D.
Listen, okay.
If it's anybody who did hear the drums of liberation, it was Michael Jackson. But boom, boom, boom,
He
boom,
was,
boom, boom,
he
boom.
was singing liberation, right?
If it's anybody who knew the drums of liberation, it was
We're
Michael D.
not
Jackson.
doing Luffy, and we're not doing One Piece right now. I was talking about
She's not a
Michael.
One Piece fan.
No, I'm not.
She's not a One Piece
No.
fan.
It's you,
But
sis. Don't break
for
our
me,
hearts.
I'm still working on her. I'm still
But-
working on
Michael
her,
D. Jackson.
No.
y'all. Michael D. Jackson.
Hey, guess
Nah, this
what?
nigga starting something, huh? He's starting something.
I'm sorry. What was you saying? I'm listening. Hey, there you go.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
See, look
Listen,
at anywhere in
hey,
white.
Wow. Hey, that's
This
crazy.
This was actually bought in 1987.
Damn.
So it's original. But when I watched it, there's a lot of stuff that I saw and I was like, wait, what? One thing was his glove. Why did he put the glove on? Or why
See-
did he even have the glove? Nobody even know that. Nobody ever I asked for. They're like, he put the glove on because he started showing his
Vitiligo, yeah. But see, they covered that when he went to. They covered a part of that, and I think the reason why they didn't go too deep into that is because they knew in speaking with their family, Antoine Fuqua knew that was a sensitive part for him in relaying that. He talked about it openly, but he knew that was sensitive for him in the thing. But that's why he did start wearing the glove, and he spoke on that. I don't want to ruin it. Will you care if we talk about it?
Huh?
I was saying, will we care if we talk about it? Because I want to say something about that, but I don't want to give away parts of the movie if John ain't see it.
Please don't,
No,
because I'm gonna watch that bitch on my day off. I'm gonna just leave without them knowing.
But I do want to say that they did talk about it in that moment when they referenced it when he went for that surgery. So, and a lot of things they did callbacks, or they did discussions so that we as the audience know that this was something that was real for him. And then that's why he made mention of the medication and stuff like that. But they didn't make any overt references to it and why. And I think that's one of the reasons why we need a part 2, so that we can get these things and we can understand how much media, and this is coming from a media guy, how much media can steer you away. Because you got to understand, the trick about fame is that you can transform the mystery behind a celebrity can easily turn into an unwarranted hatred, because you don't know anything about them and you don't give that unnecessary access to them, and that was one of the downfalls of Michael Jackson. Like, he had so much mystery and they believed he was so weird, and in getting to know and speaking of him in these, it's 2026, 19 years, or no, not 19 years, it's 2026, 17 years since he's been dead, that you come to realize that there was ample evidence that he was just like us.
Right.
He might have been a big kid, but there was ample evidence that he was just like us. But it was the media understanding and the machines that were behind them that were like, you know what, we want to manipulate this in our favor because he has something that we want. And I hope that's something that they bring up in the second movie, because the Sony deal and him owning those masters in a very calculated Virgo-esque move, but him looking at it as business and them willing to play completely dirty to harm his image is what really, that's something that needs to be brought about. Because I personally believe that it was the media was a tool for other forces to bring about, like, they completely broke him. Broke him. And they completely broke Michael Jackson.
Did you just find out that, Michael came out? Did you just hear about the Netflix thing?
No. Where they brought back on
Netflix, they just brought out a documentary.
Oh, they just
about
yeah.
all the
But
bullshit
once again,
and all that stuff.
But once again, sorry guys. But once again, that's what I'm speaking on. The media, we're in an era of opportunists, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't do this research for yourself, because there are plenty of books written by plenty of people who were right there next to Michael Jackson who will tell you these things. They'll tell you sometimes you couldn't even sleep in the house when Michael Jackson was married, because that was the first time he was in a serious relationship, when he had a wife, and that boy was getting it down like Joe and Catherine, and like like, hey, he
No,
was a real person.
what I think, to be honest, I wish that if that shit would have happened, which I know it wasn't, it would have been in this era right now. Because
Yeah.
there would have been a lot of stuff that they could have just brought up or whatsoever.
Hmm.
So
And
now
that's the
it's not. So now for me is, I told him, Michael came out and I was like, hey, guess what happened? He's like, what? Rotten Tomatoes said what, 22% of the movie, it was horrible, it was just not good, it was not reliable or whatsoever.
Well,
It
right.
wasn't
yeah,
22%.
yeah, and
So I told him, I was like, those people are not in our era, because those people who actually watched the movie are not the people that grew up in the era that we grew up, who knew Michael and everything else. Guess what? Now it's
and
$800 billion worth.
and not only that, when
Yeah.
you see critics give bad scores like that, especially from somewhere like Rotten Tomatoes, but what you're looking at is that they're expecting more out of a story that's already been beaten into the ground. We already had American Dream. We really didn't need no other Michael story.
we
But
really
guess
ain't,
what?
Michael story.
We will never get tired. This man's music. Perfect example. Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say that the Thriller album is older than all of us? The Thriller album came out in what, 82 or 83?
Mhm.
It's safe to say that the Thriller album is older than all of us. That album, which is 43 years old, just charted in its entirety again after this movie came out. The song Human Nature, the song Human Nature in this era has been on Instagram and TikTok so much, it would have made Michael Jackson, if he was still alive, made probably at this point all the money that he ever made in his entire freaking life off of just streams and stuff like that. So
This
when
is
we
this is actually the LP from 1987.
so it's the cultural impact that we are looking for. We will never get tired. We will never get tired of being reminded of
Remember
Michael
the
of
song
of
that
that
Michael
man's what you call
Jackson
it.
did with wait, what's his name? The Beatles dude.
Paul
John
McCartney,
Lennon.
the girl is
Yeah,
mine.
Paul McCartney.
The
There
girl
it
is
is.
mine.
Oh,
I don't
look,
understand the way you
eh,
think.
look,
That was the
look,
original. That was
look,
the original "Girl Is Mine." I know.
look.
I know.
Man,
My we
wow, bro.
I
listen.
never saw
I've
that.
never seen this shit.
Never seen this shit. That is crazy. But also, you have all the lyrics and everything else. But that's
Yeah.
crazy. I've never seen that. But again, you have never had anybody doing the shit that Michael Jackson ever did for his family, uh, people, especially people.
Yeah.
Michael was always with people. And I'm saying that it was one, Free Willy. He did the thing with the whale. Then he did the one with Human Nature, like you said. He also did the one with your favorite one, uh, uh, uh,
Earth song.
Earth Song.
Okay,
He did that
Listen.
one, and then
that's one of my favorites.
yeah, and
What's
then
your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Dirty Diana.
Praise
I knew
God.
he was going to say
Praise
that
Hey,
shit.
God.
hey, listen now. Listen.
Tell him
I
that.
knew he was
Hey,
going to
tell him
say that
tell him
shit.
that's okay.
See the motherfucking camera here? Listen.
Hey, that boy said, "Take your weight off. You'll never make me stay. So take your weight off of me." Don't start. Don't
Nigga.
start. Dirty
The
Diana was
history
Diana's
behind
favorite
this
song.
pain, bro, made
Listen,
me understand Dirty Diana so much.
But yeah, but
listen.
then we had a friend of ours talk about it because he was actually talking about his
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. He was talking about his brothers when they were going through fame, and
Hmm.
you had groupies who were, you know, dedicated and to make sure that they got them to where they want to be at.
Listen,
You know what I
listen.
mean?
I
So
just told Glenn. I just told Certified early today, dog. It's a goddamn shame. I was almost in tears, dog. I told Dre too, bro. It's a shame they done took people pricing and fucking puss ass
Oh Lord.
Jermaine Jackson ass still walking around living. He right there, bro. You gonna let the man who took his younger brother girl and have babies with her when you already got nieces and nephews with her? He right there. You took Peebo. You took Mr. Something that you told me stayed in my head. How long?
jeez.
It's crazy. And people got to go to heaven, and you sit here with the free ride. This is wild, boy. He
Not the
right
free ride.
there. He
Not the
right
free ride.
there.
To the
This
Jackson
shit is
family.
madness.
Don't take that shit. This shit is
Free
entertainment.
ride, bro.
Nah.
Crazy, dog.
Yo, that's crazy.
He is right there.
Okay, I have a question for y'all.
Shout out to Jafar, though. Yes, what's up?
Okay, so we know
You put
that
the name out there. You ain't shit. You ain't shit, bro.
I have a question for y'all right now. Is okay, so we know that Michael Jackson did, songs for whatever has been going on in, the world and whatever it is. Who could actually do it again?
Nobody.
Do
If they
who
can,
do
they
it?
haven't been born yet.
Who can
Do what
do it
Michael
better?
did? No, no, no,
Who?
no. Who can
Nobody's
do it
doing
again?
I don't see it.
Nobody can ever do it again. Somebody can do it in their own way, but not again. Not
Right.
again.
Their own way. I'll take that. I'll
I,
take
I personally believe, to be honest with you, if somebody did it again, we would not be allowed to see it.
You have Chris Brown. You got fucking The Weeknd.
Nope, Chris Brown is not going to do that.
You talking about margin?
Margin
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
Margin Michael Jackson. Which
That's what we call the
she just
weekend.
refused.
The weekend is known as Margin Michael Jackson on this podcast.
No, Weekend is
But
not.
I still don't. I don't think that Margin Michael Jackson is gonna touch the actual Michael Jackson.
I don't think so.
He ain't touching Mike. He ain't touching Mike. But what I am saying is that
I would know. I wish Mike was alive. I wish Mike was alive to sing The Hills. I wish Mike was alive to sing. Mike would kill some of the weekend songs. Mike would kill Starboy. Mike would
Starboy?
kill Starboy.
Nigga, I just need Michael to do Party Monster, bro.
Because it would be true. It would be true if Mike said it. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Could you imagine Mike ad libs on Starboy? Oh.
Everybody.
I'm trying to put you in the,
about,
and that would be the best diss track.
Whatever.
Could you hear Mike Jackson saying, "I'm trying to put you in the worst mood"? Like P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Oh man. I would have wanted Michael Jackson to work with Future. Shit. I would have wanted him to work with Future. Could you imagine Mike on Low Life? Could you imagine Michael Jackson on Low Life? 6
Not on
feet
Low
under.
Life.
No.
God knew what he was doing.
That's not.
Hey, God knew what he was doing. He had to keep that dog. He had to keep Future Hendrix chained until Mike died. Boy, he had to let him off the leash after he died. Because if 3 more years, boy, Mike would have been on a Future record, dog. You can't tell me Mike wouldn't have loved some of them songs, dog. Mike would have loved March Madness.
Yeah. Yes.
Dirty Soda in the styrofoam.
Because at the end of the day, he did
Nigga,
what?
he'll do the dance choreography, bro. Dirty Soda in my styrofoam. Spend a day to get my mind blown.
That boy would have been on Saturday Night Live with that boy.
He said he would have been on Saturday Night Live.
Mike would have heard the beat and said, "Quincy, we've got to get on this."
But, Michael Jackson should have been already on Saturday Night Live, but he didn't
Of
want to.
course. Nah, he ain't want to do that. But listen,
He
listen,
didn't even want to be on
listen.
doing his
Let me
course and all that stuff.
let me tell you how wrong Michael Jackson was. It's only 3 motherfuckers on a Dark Child beat that has said the word Dark Child and proceeded to kill that record. And all
Brandy.
3 of them are legends. Huh?
Brandy
Go
is
ahead.
one.
Go ahead. Preach it. Go
Brandy
ahead.
didn't say the words Dark Child. And I'm talking about above Brandy level. Even though Brandy is approaching that level, that vote, cause she the vocal Bible. I'm talking about 3 legendary. I'm talking about 3 legendary cats.
Don't do it.
Whitney Houston,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Whitney Houston,
Yep.
Michael Jackson,
Yep.
and listen, the next will go blow y'all, but it is factual,
Don't do it.
cause he a
Who?
legend too. Kirk
do it.
Franklin.
Oh,
Kirk Franklin.
I
Kirk
forgot.
Franklin.
He was gonna say Beyonce. I'm sorry.
No, it's rare air. It's rare
Yep.
air. I don't give a fuck
Yes,
about her.
Kirk.
She don't give. She legendary too. But no, I'm talking about.
Not in that way, but yes.
I'm talking about motherfucker that said Dark Child and then the beat dropped. You
Oh no,
understand me?
I'm with you.
Is Michael Jackson the god? Is
Okay.
Whitney Houston the goddess?
Okay.
And is Kirk Franklin the GOAT because he ain't gonna like me using God after him. But listen,
Yeah, I'm with him.
All right.
those are
So
the only people. Those are the only people that can whip and dip and flip that Dark Child and then the beat drop and it's over.
Captain Certified, babe, I got a question for you. Is nostalgia being overrated right now?
No.
No.
By nature,
Bullshit.
by nature, by nature.
It's not overrated.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you my reason.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
listening.
You asked me the question. I said no. Can I explain why I'm saying?
Go for it. If you want to.
Because these bitches don't know what they're going through.
Exactly. So now I can now we're pretty much in the same
It's the
page.
same thing every single day that we went through. I'm telling you this right now. Nostalgia. That's what we talked to about it before. When did you have to come home playing outside?
So
Wait, hold on.
you asking him the question?
Glenn, CJ,
Okay.
when did you have to come home playing outside? At
When the
what time?
streetlights came on.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
streetlights came on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about. They talk about the time.
Yeah.
Time. No,
y'all
because we wasn't
niggas.
predicated not on the time, but on an event. That is an event. You talk about time. No, time is 7:30. You better have your ass in here before Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy come on.
Thank you.
That's all. That's a
Now,
hard ass deadline. Nigga. Shit, your ass better be. We had that shit timed.
Right.
That was an event. And then the street lights came on and you had a 15-minute window to get your ass in the house. Because if mama or daddy had to come outside, or grandma had to come outside, and she had to miss what that final Jeopardy question was, or what that last clue was on Wheel of Fortune, your ass is grass and she has all rights and privileges to smoke it.
Smoking.
Right. But now the
So-
other question is,
And
so
I come
if
from an
you
era
go-
of nostalgia where your family knew your neighbors and your neighbors will beat your ass, and then you
Yeah.
get another ass once you got in the house.
Hey,
We
nigga, in Palatka,
can go down this route, right? We ain't gonna
Wait,
talk
hey,
about.
nah, we are. Because when in
My
Palatka,
other-
if you did wrong,
Oh, wait, hold on. But my other question is also if you were invited to somebody else's house with your friends to eat, aren't you supposed to eat?
Ooh,
Eat the
Hold
food
on.
that they're saying, hey, you gotta eat. I prepared for it. You have to eat it.
listen,
You
all,
gotta
dep-
do
all,
it.
all depends on who you are. All depends on who you
Well,
are.
see,
The neighbor.
that's
All
it. That's
depends- it all
It's a
depends on who you
neighbor.
are. If you're
That's-
if
that's-
you're
well,
a
If
bona
it's-
fide Christian, you're
if-
supposed to know that you're supposed to just go ahead and eat it.
no, but
It doesn't
I'll tell you
matter
how.
if you're Christian
No,
or
I'll tell you.
whatever,
I'll
but
tell you where that
It all
diverges.
depends on
I'll
who
tell you where that
you
diverges
are.
because growing up, coming down to South Florida, I learned okay when you go by somebody's house, and they invite you in, their mama invite you in and stuff, and you stand. If you out there past the street lights and your mama let you stay there, okay, that person mama, that person daddy, they gonna feed you because until you go home and you around that time, you their responsibility. We got that down here. When we was coming up in Palatka, my grandma was like, you don't fucking eat from nobody's house unless I approve you to eat. But that's
Right.
because we grew, because it's speaking to nostalgia, but them, that speaks to, listen, we grew up, it was the country. And back then, you never knew anybody's intention. Even if you knew them for a long time, you never knew I could be cool. And yeah, I'm just a kid, but you don't know if they felt wrong by your uncle, your cousin, your granddaddy, your grandmama. So back in them days, they used to tell you they would put roots on you or they would poison your food. I had an uncle, I had an uncle and a great aunt that died by being poisoned.
You heard
By
that, Glenn? The woods.
It's
The
not even,
woods.
The woods.
The
but it's
roots.
not even that. You're
Got
so
root
saying,
so
on
what
your
you
ass.
so what you saying, so to your point, the good etiquette that you had, like, yeah, because back in them days, saying nostalgia, if I'm at your house past a certain time, it's already an understood rule between the parents. Hey, you pass here and I gotta take you home. I'm gonna feed you, I'm gonna make sure you good, I'm gonna make sure you eat just like my children eat. And then if I gotta carry you home and your mama gonna come get you, okay, but she gonna know before she puts you in the bed that you had a meal, because she wasn't with you. You my responsibility. But
right,
coming from up there, my grandma told all of us, don't, unless I'm sending you over to one of your family members' houses, or I'm sending you over to a family, like a close family friend, you better not pick that motherfucking fork up. It ain't worth your life. And but that's just, once again, coming from our culture and what we knew, coming
okay.
from what we knew, and that comes
So
from that old, like, that comes from that old Southern, directly from, I'm talking about emancipation slavery shit, where there was still competition, there was still this shit going on. So I understand where you come from. I learned that down here.
oh no, here's the thing where I learned it from. I didn't learn it from white people. I learned it from Italian people, Turkish
Right.
people. White people, they're not going to invite you. Here's the fucked up part. So if I would be playing with, this girl, whatsoever, in their house, and she's like, oh, she needs to go because we are gonna have, dinner, supper, or whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can she eat with us? No, I
Yeah.
don't know her. I don't want her there. German people are like that. They say,
Right.
no, that's not my child. She needs to go. We're gonna have
Right.
supper. And that's what it is.
I
Now,
feel like I
me,
feel like I feel like some of the kids nowadays don't have to worry about that because I mean it's so digital
Well, sir,
driven.
don't worry about it.
You
I'm
know what I
getting there
mean?
because
no,
Like
my part.
kids like I have to force my daughter to go outside. You know what I mean? If it ain't the iPad or anything else, like they most of her friends is on online doing their stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like we had to actually like go outside to see our friends, and
Mm-hmm.
and like we was the ones drinking from the well water and shit like that. We was out there getting dirty and shit like that. But like these kids nowadays, like if it ain't
Shit. Hey,
digital
that pussy ass
driven
water
type of shit,
used to taste like rust and no regret.
yeah, yeah, like
Oh man.
I'm getting to it. I ain't get to my point yet.
Well,
I'm getting
let Wolvie get up on his
yeah,
like
soapbox.
our son, he's now like all of our kids are now out of school. You guys, you already know that because
Mhm.
your kids are out of school.
yo, like who
But
remember who
I'm
remember having
asking you,
who
what are
remember
you
having a
supposed to be doing?
who remember having a bicycle and one of your homeboys said, "Hey man, I just want to borrow that. I'm just gonna take it around the corner. I'll be right back with it."
Nope,
And they never fucking come back, yo.
no.
And you
Or
walk up to the house and you rolled off from the house and you
and you
walk up
gotta
to the house.
walk home and tell your motherfucking mammy that yo,
Nope.
That this boy ain't come back.
this
Hey,
women
this
that
it's
ran
a
off
word
with
for that.
kids.
It's a word for that when the neighbors get a hold of you. State property. Because why did you do that? Why did you do that? Your ass belongs to everybody now.
nigga, you about
Cause
to get hit with some killer instinct type combos.
but you know what
Ultra
you
nigga.
understand when you get older. You know what you understand when you get older. Your old girl probably bust her ass for that bike. Your
Yeah,
old girl and your old boy probably did
yeah.
everything, worked and strived and struggled and got every cent for that bike. So for you to
Listen,
give it away so freely, for you to give it away so freely without thinking, hey, that this person would ever go and lose that bike or ever, like my brother was a fiend for that. I remember one time, I remember one time he let one of our god brother hold the bike. He let him hold the bike. We go outside. They ride up to Burger King. Two motherfuckers jump on the bikes and steal them. So now, like, bruh, and then back then, it was crazy because you learning everything in innocent. Dang, these motherfuckers done stole my bike. Like, why would they do that and stuff like that? But it just comes down to you thinking about you unaware of the sacrifices and stuff people make, and I think that's why nostalgia for us is important. We think back to the things that we miss, and we think back because you start to appreciate the people who did for you. You feel me? You start to appreciate your mom and your aunt or the people who you really realize was there for you because they give you stuff when you're younger and you're like, dang man, you know, dang, they looking out and dang, and it looks so easy for you, but you get
Right.
everything. You might get things every once in a while, but then you don't understand that was 3 or 4 months of saving and scraping and sacrificing
Right.
overtime and things happening and your parents not living how they want to and not taking care of themselves to make sure that you can eat, that you can have what you needed for your birthday or for Christmas so that they can see you smile. So that's one of the things that it does for me in nostalgia because when you work hard and you're able to provide for your child or you able to get them something they really wanted and then you see it, that's a sense of nostalgia too. Because did you ever get something on like Christmas Day? I'm thinking now, dog. Y'all got me really reflecting now.
Yeah.
I remember, I
Go in.
remember.
I have a
Go in.
question because I was thinking about the other day because remember like back in the day, it was like, oh, my family or dad, mom, whatever it is, oh, let's go hike or let's go do this or let's go do this.
Niggas
Because
ain't hiking, so just ignore that now. Well, okay, go
I'm
ahead.
about to say, fam,
old
we ain't do no goddamn hiking.
people want to go to the market or old people
We ain't
want
go to the
to do
motherfucker.
this.
We ain't
And
we ain't grow up in no mountains. We ain't have Paco the
this,
faithful Chihuahua.
okay,
We ain't go. Hey, we black.
Y'all go,
We
y'all go
black.
hiking. You go hiking in school, man.
Yo, hey, listen, hey,
Hey,
I'm like,
hey,
yo,
my daughter, hey,
I ain't going
hey,
remember
my
when like
daughter, my daughter's school, like, well, the summer camp she was in invited parents to go camping, and so me and my wife, what my wife do, what she do is she volunteers me to go, and
oh
I'm
shit.
like, why would you do some shit like that? You already know I'm not doing that. I don't do anything that require me to be in a freaking tent or being in the woods with some type of creature, you know. And so when it comes to shit like that, I'll volunteer her ass. Oh yeah, my wife will do it. Oh no,
Hike.
we ain't doing that. A
but what I
hike?
was saying is like at the you know when you when you grew up with people, parents, aunties, uncles, or whatsoever it is, and you saw some stuff that you were like, no, I would never do it. But now
Yeah.
you're actually sitting there and you're like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it.
Listen,
That's our kids now. So
I
our
used to,
kids are
and
very much
it's a good testimony. It's a good testimony to the fact that, like, to that point, your kids are watching you. The way you watched your mama and your dad and your listen. I used to be. There used to be times. There used to be times I used to have one of my favorite uncles in the world. It used to be times I just used to like. We used to go out on my grandma's porch. I used to see him. He used to be smoking a cigarette, and he used to have the most intense look in his eye. He used to be squared out,
Hmm.
like just spaced out. And I remember one time I said, "Unc, you good?" And like it took him like a second to come back to reality. He was like, "I'm good, nephew." He did not start looking out into space. He said, "I'm just trying to figure some things out." And he said, honestly, he said, go on in. He said, go on and play.
and
And
see
it's
at
just like,
that time when
and
he
he
heard
was
that, you did not even think about
right. You
what he
thought you
said.
was being,
Now
you
that
was
you're older, now you
exactly.
actually think about it.
And
That's
and then
what I'm
I
saying
remember
because
he used to be on the he used to go out. I remember he used to go out at like 10 o'clock at night because he knew my grandma would lock the door at 10 o'clock at night. Nobody coming in and out of this bitch, but he one of the only ones that had a key. And I remember one night I was leaving to go to my auntie house, and I was leaving the house, and he was out there once again smoking his black and mild, just staring out there. And I ain't say nothing because the nigga already told me to get his ass on. So my auntie asked him. She said, "You all right?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, He said, "Sometimes I come out here because the silence is so good this time of night, and I just need a little peace and quiet." And when we was younger, you remember, it was never enough noise. It was never enough action and movement and motion. Now you'll kill a motherfucker dead if you can get 10 minutes of peace.
Right. That's what I'm
What?
saying. It's like,
How
the
many
shit
times
that
we done sat? How many times all of us know this? How many times we done had a day so goddamn rough? We sit there. We pull into the motherfucking front. We pull into the fucking yard and turn the radio off and just sit in silence. I
but
done
that's
had.
what I'm like with our kid, it's the same thing. Like you just said, your uncle did this because that was his thing. You did not understand it at that time, but now you do. It's the same thing with our children. They don't understand what we went through,
Mhm.
but they will.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff. And I hope is, that people actually do it and introduce the children that, movies, TV shows, food, what we had to go through and everything else, and just show all of that and just be okay with it. Because at
Hmm.
the end of
I
the day,
mean,
we don't want our children to be late on it. Meaning, like you just said, CJ, oh, my uncle was over there. And I
yeah.
just figured it out years afterwards when he's
You
well
know what?
gone.
It's a longing for halcyon days. Y'all know I always got to use a big word, but it's a longing for halcyon days. Days when things were good and like beautiful, and and then you always viewed them in a peaceful, therapeutic, almost relaxing state of mind. Um, and that's why nostalgia is important. It is nothing. There is nothing wrong with looking back in order to make peace with moving forward.
Yep.
And that's what we do to ourselves a lot. We don't look back and reflect, because even us talking through this, we all were able to like reflect and think about a time, like when things was good. And it's dog. I have some nostalgia sometimes, because I think back to the first music video I ever seen, which was Bone Thugs Harmony. And I can tell you
Crossroads,
the
which one? And
Crossroads.
yeah,
I can tell you like the first four videos I ever seen. California Love,
uh,
California Love, Dr. Dre and Snoop.
mhm.
Was it California Love? No, I take that back. It was two of America Most Wanted, Tupac and Dre,
Okay,
Tupac and
Pocket
Snoop.
Snoop, yeah.
Um, Crossroads, Crossroads by Bone Thugs and
Those
Harmony.
Pocket-
Um, Aaron Hall, I Miss You. You
I
remember
miss
that
you.
was the one when she
Talking to
died
you,
in the
baby.
video.
I'm about to go shave my
I
head.
miss
I
you.
miss you.
Okay.
And
Oh, oh,
Fun.
hey, don't forget. Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to People Bryson. That's
why you
that's
wanted
your
to break
nigga
my
right
Like,
now, bro.
why you had to break my heart all over again?
I'm sorry, bro. I had to break
Jermaine Jackson is right
You had to break
there.
my heart too.
that. Listen, you gotta understand. Cat was the one who put me on Peebo.
Yeah, but the part was,
Cat put me on Peebo, so I
but
gotta
I
bring that
knew
bitch
it
back up.
because of fucking Beauty and the Beast and like the whole
Dog,
entire afterwards.
dog,
Beauty
listen.
and the Beast,
I
all
was
that
dog.
stuff.
Y'all
Baby.
listen to me,
No,
dog.
Beauty and the
Listen
Beast.
to me. I fell to my knees in Publix when
He
I
said
read
he
that.
wasn't. No.
I fell to my knees. The cart I was pushing crashed into the deli.
That was
I
some.
was verklempt.
Um,
Verklempt.
I'm,
You
I'm
hear
about to
me?
have a karaoke night right
he
now.
had a whole entire communion about every fucking Disney movie because it always had to be him. He was there.
Beauty
What?
and the Beast. That boy was singing in Beauty and the Beast. I thought he really made Celine
It,
Dion fall in love with that boy. That boy says
Beauty and
tale
the
as old as
Beast,
time.
Aladdin.
You mean Booty and the Beast? All right.
Get your boy.
Can we not?
Get your boy.
Anyway, to wrap this up, because we are coming on an hour, we are going to come up. We are going to our final thought about nostalgia, which is simply this: I don't think that it's a played out concept. I think that it's something that's necessary. We come from one of the greatest eras in American history. To live through the end of the 80s, through the 90s, and beginning of the 2000s, one of the greatest times in human history. We
It was.
witnessed, we witnessed tragedy. We witnessed the beauty of innovation. We witnessed black excellence. We were just out there watching Boomerang. Boomerang was one of the first movies where black people were actually executives and successful, even down to the old. But y'all remember Eartha Kitt was in that motherfucking movie. And Eartha Kitt was still something to be desired. And I think Eartha Kitt was in her 60s or 70s in that motherfucking movie. Eddie Murphy was at the height of his powers. Robin Givens, Holly Berry, David Allen Greer, Martin Lawrence. We will never get something that star-studded again without knowing what it is. House Party, I just told them out there, Kid and Play, TLC, and Immature was in one shot together. I said that was 8 legends in one shot. In one shot together. The soundtrack of our times. Barry Mack was in that movie. Angela, who played Felicia in Friday, was in that movie. Candy Alexander, who played Olivia Pope's mom from Scandal, was in that movie, and who's on TV right now, but played some of the greatest characters in 90s history in that movie.
And you know what's so sad about it is nobody in Europe will ever know this.
And maybe so.
They don't know
But
anything about this history of whatever it is.
but the beauty of how we came up is, dog, we grew up on family fish fries. We grew up on them barbecues where we start longing for them barbecues, dog. We start having them. Listen, and God bless them barbecues, because if it wasn't for them barbecues, hand to God, we wouldn't have them big on bigs. Praise God, from who all blessings flow. Because guess what? We the aunties and the uncles now. We the mamas and the daddies.
Yep.
We are the way makers and the example shakers. And it's crazy that we were able to do that. And now we're the ones, when we used to watch our uncles and our daddies sit out there and drink their beer and watch us play, and they just was content. When our mamas used to sit there and eat their food, they eat their crabs and they eat their ribs that the men provided, they were safe. When grandma was telling you to come inside and wash your ass because you've been out here playing in the sun and you probably smell like sun.
Smell like God.
That's the next stage of our life to be continued. But isn't it a blessing that you can look back on where you were? And if you think about where you came from and what you went through, you can kind of map out a course to where you're going.
Your children.
And not only that, you can tell which way you want to go and which way you don't want to go. All you have to do is look back and reflect, because looking back helps show you the way forward.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, if you look back, you know which uncle you want to be like. You know if you want to be like your daddy or you want to be like your granddaddy. You know if you want to be like your auntie or your uncles. You want to know if you like your grandmama. You want to know if you're a hard motherfucker like your granddaddy. You want to know if you was like your goddaddy. You want to know if you was like Mr. Mossy up the street.
No, because everything.
And you can take that amalgamation of all the things you liked and you didn't like from all your mentors and your times. Listen, I learned how to cook. I learned how to cook because I know my auntie was one of the best cooks ever. And I knew that my mentor my mentor knew how to cook. And he told me one thing. He said, man, a man that could cook can draw anything. He can draw a woman. He gonna draw a wife. And I never forget, I started cooking. And I remember one of my older brother's best friends, his mom used to come to our house. And she told me one time after I finished cooking, she tried some of the food and she said, come outside, let me talk to you. And I sat at the porch. She said,
What did you try? Did you try the Cajun pasta?
Nah, this was back in my young warthog days. I think I had made some fried rice. I think I had even made some fried rice. I think I had made some chicken. I think I had made some fried chicken. Y'all know I don't fuck around when the time to get with the pots.
No, he don't fuck around. But guess what? You know what he said today?
What he said?
I was like, hey, we're home. And what did you say to our son?
You asking me the wrong thing right now.
No. You know it. Because he said it to him.
What?
I'm in Boston.
Oh. Am I in Boston? And say, how long was I out?
Oh Lord, don't start. That's another story
Oh,
for another
Lord.
day. And when we tell that story, I want to fucking quarter anybody up anytime anybody tell it behind me, because it's gonna be like the epic of fucking Gilgamesh, the first shit
But
you ever
I
heard
know
and the
it.
last thing you'll ever need.
That was a Rick and Morty episode all on its own.
And we will get to that one in due time. Let me finish my final thought, because y'all are some heathens. But yeah,
No, what I'm saying is, yes, you're supposed to. Nowadays, what I'm saying is, you have your children, you have your family, whatever it is. And for me, especially, is family is everything, because that's the way I grew up. My German family is actually not German. They're fucking. I don't even know what they are, but
They Yugoslavian.
yeah, whatever.
Don't ask.
Um, but they stick together no matter what the fuck it is.
right.
My family has been with me since whenever I was born or whatever it is. They helped us out and everything else. My family knows them more than they know anybody else. Um, so when it comes, family wise, that's why I'm saying it's like, hey, everybody can come to our house.
Right.
Everybody can be invited. Everybody can eat our food or whatever it is. And especially if you give me a recipe for a new thing, I'll be welcome.
Well, if you want a recipe, you gotta talk. Anyway, you got some recipes.
He wants to do a brisket.
He wants to do a what?
I got that.
He wants to do a brisket.
Oh, that's a big on big. That sounds like a big on big project. I'll bring some recipes.
Right,
I'll bring some recipes. I'll bring some recipes through, sis. He harped up on that. He harped up on that. What was that? What I made you that? I made that curry chicken pasta.
I've been trying to tell her about this shit.
But that's
she don't know.
But that's the point between us.
She don't know,
because
bro.
Everything that we do is you guys, or I met you because of him. But y'all, my brothers.
Curry chicken pasta.
Of course. I'll commit. I'll commit to coming over there. I'll commit to come over there and putting a new recipe on the pots.
Bitch, I'm gonna make sure you do that shit. I will.
He was just waiting. See, certified. You see how much of a piece of shit he is. He would just wait for me to say it. That's all. He was just sticking bait.
Right. You damn sure.
Sticking bait. And look at the glee in his face. I only have one request. I want to. We gotta watch Wolf of Wall Street while I do it. While we cook it together.
Oh, wait a second. You motherfuckers ain't gonna have. Y'all ain't gonna have a good time without me, motherfucker. And y'all just gonna eat. Y'all gonna eat Cajun pasta and watch Wolf of fucking Wall Street.
No.
Yeah,
that was the worst movie that Leonardo DiCaprio did ever in his fucking life.
Whoa, wait a second.
You know what? That's fine.
Wolf of Wall Street is a fucking classic. You live off of that shit.
His best movie was, what was it called? The Virgin or whatever the fuck it was.
Virgin? No, it wasn't that. Which one was it?
Where he killed a grizzly and the grizzly killed him.
The Revenant. The Revenant.
The Revenant. I don't know about what The Revenant. I do know about the Wolf of Wall Street.
The Revenant was a good movie. The Revenant was a good movie. I believe
his was a good movie.
It was better than the fucking Wall Street.
His best movie to me was Shutter Island.
Just figure out what
either Shutter Island or what was the one where he played Howard the billionaire who had the extreme OCD. That was a great movie too. And Catch Me If You Can was a great movie. Catch Me If You Can was one of the best movies he did too.
All I know is
he was basically
a addict.
Huh? All I know is I ain't fucking leaving.
His first movie
I ain't fucking leaving.
I ain't fucking leaving.
What he did was when he would play.
I ain't fucking leaving.
I ain't fucking leaving.
I know what you're talking about. I know what movie you're talking about, but I can't call the name.
You have to call the fucking National Guards to come get me out.
Cause I ain't going nowhere. Okay,
Cause I ain't going nowhere.
That is a wrap on the Up to a podcast.
You know what the worst part is? Nobody says Titanic.
Of course.
But okay.
Because you know who
said
should
something.
have won the
Oh,
Oscar for
yeah.
Titanic? Celine Dion.
Huh?
You're here. There's nothing to fear. My heart will go on. That was the best actor in all of Titanic. Was
That
fucking
was the
Celine
best
Dion.
thing.
All I know is
Only thing.
that motherfucker had plenty of
You're right,
space.
Karen, for the
He
shit.
had plenty of space to get his ass up on that
Yeah, fuck
wooden
Kate.
plank.
Fuck Rose.
And that nigga
Fuck
froze
Rose.
like a motherfucking
Nobody gave
popsicle.
two fucks.
Uh-huh.
It's fucking insane. So,
Hey, yo.
you drown, you drown. It is what it is. Hey, what Dolph Lundgren said? If he dies, he dies.
Huh? If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, and that bitch died like a popsicle, nigga.
I'm sick of y'all. This is a wrap for the Up to It podcast. I am El Capitan in Fuego Fidi Bumbo, along with my brother Certified to God and the one and only Sticky Face. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, you don't. Accompanied by our sister Sasha. Let us know we'll let you know what's next to come. But until then, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We only do it because we used to it. Y'all niggas got.
Drink.
I'm just gonna swing my smart. I'm gonna swing my smart water. That's what I got.